So I'm gonna hand you. I'm gonna hand you this back. Okay. There's gonna be a score out of 6. Here's how I scored it. If you did the front part, all of the front, you got 2. And then there were 2 questions that were on the back. So those were each worth 2. Okay. If you attempted the question, but I think that you could give a little bit more detail about that, what I did was I circled it and I wrote an R. That means that I want you to, and you can redo it or just add some stuff. Some people did a really good job of maybe saying like, hey, this is how the inner planets were created, but maybe left out outer planets. So I would like wrote you a little comment like, hey, what about this one? If you want to fix that and turn that back in, you totally can. Hang on to it, at least. We're going to continue our Pluto Files performance task. What we should do today is probably get all of our evidence should be done. I would say the majority of people, their evidence is done, and they've picked a side that they're going to make their claim on, and they're starting to do that. So I'm going to take you through some of that today. There's 3 ways that you can get information. You can absolutely, and I would, use this somehow. Okay? Hey, here's some information about Pluto. Based on this kind of stuff, I would put it into this category. It supports it into this category, right? Or these are the characteristics for the planets. This doesn't really fit into it. I don't think that's what. So you can definitely use that. You can use the Pluto Files video clip that we used yesterday, where the old guys were arguing about who knows what. And then the additional articles and videos. Additional articles and videos, right? Those are the ones that we've been reading and watching yesterday. And then this last part, remember, in order to have a solid scientific thing, I do not, and I have some people who's, hey, Clay, shut that just one time.
Oh, I thought we were researching.
And then some people, they have a huge column with a bunch of information for one of them, and they have like one thing for the other one. All right? I want you to look at both sides equally. Even if you say, hey, I'm going to end up choosing this one, I want you to at least look at what the other side is saying. If anything, so that you can talk about why there's necessarily isn't true. Okay?
To be fair.
Couple things. How many of you found the 3 criteria that a planet needs to have yesterday? Okay. How many of those does Pluto meet? Which one does it not? Something about a neighborhood. That's a question that a lot of people ask me. So I sort of want to give you the very basics of what this is. The beginning of the last unit, we talked about, hey, if I want more gravity, what can I do to the size of an object? Make it bigger, because stuff that has more mass has more gravity. Is Pluto large?
No.
No. Pluto is not large. Okay. You can throw you out one of those, and then once we get going. Okay, Pluto's not very big, which means that it doesn't, or actually, I promise, just for a second. It doesn't have a ton of gravitational pull, right? But when it's talking about clearing its neighborhood, it's just talking about, hey, it's got enough gravitational force to influence stuff that's around it somehow. And that goes back to how big it is. That goes back to its size. Now, some people are saying, and I can see this both ways. Some people are saying, well, it doesn't meet that 3rd criteria. That means that it's out, that it should be a dwarf planet. Okay? However, a lot of people have found information saying, and I haven't read it, like I've read their highlights, saying, if we took Earth and put it where Pluto is, Earth would not clear its orbit. So it's not the fact that Pluto's too small, it's the location of where it is. So that 3rd one should get shot out, right? They've also said, technically, Earth has a bunch of asteroids that are like within a certain distance of it. So does Jupiter, so does, I think, Neptune. So technically, we don't always clear our orbit. Like, those are 2 of the arguments that people are making, and those are really good arguments, because now I legitimately am like, I don't know what I would pick. I don't know what I would make it. Okay? So, either way, you're looking at both sides. Now, when I'm grading this, I'm telling you right now, you should look at this like 3 points. Okay? You should look at this like 3 points. Literally, if you say, I believe Pluto should be, and then you put something in there, that's 3 points right off the bat. Okay? All you gotta do is say, this is what I think it is, and that's points for you right off the bat. You should treat these performance tasks like, hey, I got 3 days in class to just pad my grade, is what you should think about, okay? I'm gonna grade it a little bit tougher, and here are the 2 things that I'm gonna be sticklers on. Remember when I was talking about the STARS performance task, and I said, look at this evidence and reasoning, it's sort of repeating itself? Like some people would say, all right, here's my evidence, and then in their reasoning, they'd say the exact same thing. I'm gonna be picky about that, okay? If your evidence has opinions or explanations in it, that's not evidence, that's reasoning, and it's in the wrong spot. So if you want your evidence to be like fragments or even bullet points, that's fine. The only thing I should see in evidence are facts or evidence, right? And then you can explain those in your reasoning. So your reasoning should be the only part that's got like well thought out sentences or a paragraph. That's totally fine, right? The second part, a lot of people are saying, hey, will you look at this and tell me if that's okay? I'm looking for, did you mention the other side? So if you think that Pluto should be a dwarf planet, did you explain to me about why people think it should be a planet and why they're wrong? And if you think it should be a planet, are you doing the same thing for the other side? So those 2 things I'm really looking at. So the difference between a 2, a 3, and a 4 for each of those are going to be like, I'm going to be picky about those. 4s are going to be really hard to give out unless it's really good. Got it?
Yep.
3 is where I want you to be. 4 is if I'm like, wow, that was really well done.
I was like Miss Basilika. 3 is like your
You with me on that stuff? If you want me to take a look at it, so we've got today, right? If you don't have all your evidence done by the end of the day, then we're worried. Okay? If you do, and you've made a start on your claim and evidence, I mean, some people are done, but they like have also been like, oh, I did this. Okay. All right. Are there any questions about that stuff? Hey, I don't have a number on, hey, is this enough evidence? I just need it to maybe be enough. I don't know what that means, but that's not helpful. Okay? Enough that I think you've got the full picture. Okay? Walk around, answer some questions. We're handing this in. Tomorrow's the last day in class that we're working on. Okay? Tomorrow. Today, tomorrow, and then tomorrow. At the end of the day. Yeah. All right. Yes.
You want it?
Look at this. I'm Yoda. Imagine me Yoda. Oh, that Corgi well. Jedi mind trick Yoda. Corgi well. Jedi mind trick. Funny joke. Cole, shut up.
Whatever you want to work.
I'm like, it's me all my friends.
I just want to give you more time to work on it.
All right.
Wait, with the friends I don't have.
Yeah. How many friends do you have?
I'll get those. I got at least one in every class.
Yeah, that is not a chance for me.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. I guess maybe. Yeah, no, I guess maybe I have a friend that class.
So really it comes down to this last bullet point and the fact that it's small. Is enough call it this. Or using that sense, like, enough to agree that it's, yeah.
Brains.com.
That's what someone. That's what someone. So you could say like, hey, I think that it needs to be seen all three criteria. Third one, see if it's that. So it's tipped. And I think they said that like, that's okay, but the fact that it crosses another planet's like orbit is what's not good. That's not technically bacteria, but that's something that scientists don't like.
What is?
You know, just focus on it. Or you-
Yeah, I gotta start. So we are doing a performance task on what we think that Pluto should be. We can make a copy of this. It's got some articles, but I would watch with headphones. Okay, and I'll just throw you in the back so it's quiet. You should watch them first. Yep. First 10 or 15 minutes of this, it's going to talk about a bunch of stuff. And then we want evidence for why it should be a planet and why it shouldn't be a planet. And then later we'll come up with this. So what we need to do is get some of this stuff here. That's what we're gathering today.
The energy take like 5
Mhm.
Where would it really kind of think it should?
And I would probably say, here's what I think. Like, I would say let's pick one, but then in your reasoning say like, it's not overwhelming, like I'm not sold on this one, but if I had to pick one, I would say this based on whatever. So you can say that in your reasoning if you want.
What's this one?
Yeah, that's fine. It's our table of contents. We're gonna list all the activities that we do on there. So like, this one is hidden figures. This one is solar system infographic. This one is the one that we're doing right now, Pluto 5. So after we do this, we'll update it.
So, so I just wanted to ask, I found that, so I basically, I put some evidence here for the evidence that I'm gonna use to save, but I have
I would
evidence
say
for
let's
both
get
of
some more
these.
here.
Just a little bit more here.
Yep, so that you like are really sold on it.
Okay.
I know, like, what is Pluto's other feature of being like a planet?
That's what you gotta find out.
I just looked and I didn't find it.
There is everywhere. Look at the 3 criteria. Say 3 criteria to be a planet. And and I think it's in Article 1. Yeah, halfway down.
This many years to orbit, and I was gonna compare it to like another real planet.
Yeah.
I would put that with these.
Fact would be orbit. Reasoning would be comparing it to another planet. Not here. This is just facts. So you're just gathering facts. A bunch of them. Not opinions, but facts. How many things that make you perspective make these. That could be one.
Alright. It's not evidence that you can just go to confess you of your claim, not have what was your claim? It's like, I don't know if you use because like, we don't have nerves. And you have nerves. Like, not all plants, like.
Yeah, so has.
Oh, so that's like the others. Yeah. So then your evidence would be behaviors and norms of habit. And there's a need to would just be like, well, I'm not even sure that is not. Just like two of them go around. Do any other kind of colors that go like that? So that's great.
Wait. Where did Miss Bernard go?
Right there.
Where?
At the far table. Jesus Christ. Calm down. The world does not evolve around you, Cole.
I know she said it did. I just wonder where she was. I don't know what government was. Is this real? Is this what was it?
No, I think it's an April Fool's thing. I think you go down to the bottom, it says April Fool's, because I read the whole thing.
I thought it was in April. I just remembered it was in April.
I read it once and was like, oh.
And I was like, why are we having this debate then? Like, I mean, I guess we still have it, but it's different.
Like, why does this, well, I want you to say, this is why all this stuff makes it completely like, people who say it's not good and say this, but here's why their argument isn't. So I'm looking for your reasoning, it's like 85% your reasoning, 15% you talking about why the other side is wrong. So that's. What we need we impact the work that
Okay.
Right. This stuff. And I want you to say, why is this bigger? Why is this bigger? And so you're saying, well, because it's so small.
Oh yeah, who knows where we were going? Here, that's sad. This. You know the food can go out.
So you find this now, years later. We just
Yeah, and also it's a different order than all the other ones, and it depends on the
now we're
taxes.
like, wait.
Yeah, like that.
So that's why
I knew about this like when I was really little, cause like all the people like in first grade were arguing like, oh, why put it on? Or not first grade? Was it first grade? No. Well, it could be first grade. Yeah, in kindergarten it was 2009. Kindergarten. Oh, 3 years is very important. That's all. Could have been preschool. Anyway, long story short, I remember like telling classified by people that classify it. It was like the people that make up the rules are the ones that determine what is what. So like it's like a huge amount of like. And there's some stuff for people.
I don't know where you're gonna put it, but. Yeah, I would consider it. Yep. It doesn't have to be all of it, like some people have like 10 things listed, and I would say, you know, if you think of them as fits in, like some of them are like, oh, here's a thing, but it's not really. Yeah, it's not really.
Holy crap. There, now, get her.
To in your claim, got back, and then do your evidence and review based on that. Do you want to? Yeah. It's just- Yeah, if I see something that's in the
to have done, it wasn't. Is it close? Technically, this is. Almost like it's-
Hey guys, you wanna give me your attention just real quick? If you turned in one of these, like if you know you turned it in, well, yours is different because you emailed it to me. If you turned in a hard copy and you didn't get it back, I have 2 who have no names on them, but I have like 12 people who haven't turned one in, so I cannot figure it out.
10 people haven't turned one in.
I think the one. Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. And then there's one other one. Okay, so if this is yours, you need to claim it before you leave. Because when everybody leaves, anyone who I don't have, I'm gonna go through and enter in zeros. And I don't want you to get a 0 if yours is done. So, you put your name on this and then I'll grade it. There's one other person, so take a look at it. And if yours is done but you didn't turn it in, I need it. That's probably yours. Yeah, write your name on it and then hand it over.
And I should. Yeah, it's right there, yeah.
Is this your reason?
What are you doing? What is she doing?
What?
What are you doing?
I'm dancing.
Why?
Because I can.
You can.
Gotta give me the
Why
willingness
why
to
do you
dance.
feel for? You don't even hand motions.
She can dance.
I'm not saying she can't dance. I'm just
Oh, I was listening to music and dance. Stop touching me, dang.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
It's simple, Cole.
Just be quiet.
Exactly. Thank you. Cindy.
So, it wasn't, hey. I'm sure that we worked Try skin on my nose. I mean, I could try skin on my nose. We're gonna get up. Alright, what do you got? Sure. I do not have to.
Stop looking at me.
I'm so mad at you.
You good? You go to this. We're gonna go over to, you're gonna go to the drive. Find it. Find it in the drive. Click on it, and then, you know, there's a bit at the bottom now, so that. Which one do you want to do? So, it says. So, it's not. Alright, so, did you wash the one more than the rest of it? for the whole time we're talking. That's really interesting. There are conversations. And then after that. And then, let's see what we have. I got it. That's long. And then I would say. Yes, that's right. It has to be, yeah, according to the shape of the spirit. You know, there's something like that. You know, that side of that. All my reasoning was like, they're not sure which one it is. They go around. Some hurts, some bigger than the moon. So we know that doesn't pass it for the rest. We have enough gravity to rest. But Pluto is like, Pluto and what of its moons sort of like, people think, oh, it might going around. We're just, we don't know what's going on. We don't know if people are doing these other things. No. I think Mercury has moons. We have one. Jupiter and Saturn have a ton. The one that actually doing the rest. I think that we should be trying to hopefully it's kind of weird. I'm sure that it's everybody. Yeah. I show you the
Alright, so bell's gonna ring in like a minute. How many of you guys have all your evidence and you're starting on the actual other part? Yeah, that's what I wanna do. So tomorrow, we'll finish that up, we'll submit it. Remember, I'm looking for, do you mention the other side specifically, and is our evidence and reasoning clear? Right? And then on Friday, we're gonna, I've had 2 classes where people have debated, and it's been awesome because they're just yelling at each other.
Oh yeah, I like how we yell at them.
Have a little debate. Fight to the death.
Like, it was the day before the first day of school. It was that thing called, it was orientation. They moved down that bus after orientation. Is that the bus? You sure? It's like a big old